Wonderful.
Yeah, let's go.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming around today. We don't have too much for you here. I think the biggest things to bring to you guys today is just the normal, make sure you guys are clear on the comms. If you guys want to fuck around on the radio, go to a different channel. Make sure you're sufficient. When you guys are getting sufficient on calls, make sure that you can 100% guarantee that you are sufficient on a call before you move radio or channels. So if you're on a PDM, if you're on a bank, or whatever the fuck the situation is, don't move up and be like, hey, moving this up to TAC 5, come here if you want to join. No, we're not doing that. Make sure you're sufficient first, and then move up the channel, and then, contain your scene in that radio. We've been seeing a couple people do that. I want to go ahead and put an end to that very, very quickly. As well as when it comes to, listen, we want to give you guys more freedoms, especially like with your uniforms and stuff. I know we got some things working. All I ask is if we can get these uniform and stuff cleared, please do it with some taste, okay? Don't need anybody looking like idiots and getting it taken away again. So nothing's changing as of now, but I'm gonna try and get you guys able to wear different shit, and if I can, just don't ruin it for everybody. That's gonna be it for me. Any high command have anything? DC, you want to go ahead and talk about the pocket shit?
Oh yeah, all of your shit, if you buy it from now on from the armory, it'll be the proper, or not proper, but it'll be a little bit lighter. Okay, so for example, a new flashlight is only 1 kilogram rather than 8. The evidence bag starting tomorrow will be 1 kilogram instead of 15, and then I don't remember what the other ones are. Most things are generally lighter.
Listen, guys, one thing I want to say on the back of this is not an excuse for you guys to be carrying full-blown fucking arsenals on your person. Have a little bit of grace with it. I don't want anybody having 9 armors on them, 400 plates, 35 IFAKs. Have a little bit of taste with it. As well as we're having a lot of officers be on duty. We're having consistent days, 25, 30 fucking plus officers. I know a lot of us are feeling the effects of being successful as a police department in terms of numbers. Please do not feel like you have to go and sit in your car and chase pings. The reality and the reason why we have recruited and we have gotten this many officers here is so that you guys can live your lives and do things other than fucking chase pings. We have CID, we have GIU, we have Interceptor, Air One. We have all these different things and all these different avenues of things that you guys can jump into and devote your time, and let the new people, or let the people who don't want to be doing the extensive shit, go on duty and chase pings. Ask us. Ask your higher ups in whatever division you're in. Ask your sergeants, corporals, lieutenants, captains. Want to go and investigate shit. Want to go and get stuff signed for raid warrants. We will not turn you guys down. We will give you direction and we will help you get to that point. But if you don't ask, we can't help. So if you want to get into bigger shit, into newer shit, stuff like that, please come and talk to us. With that being said, GIU and CID, anyone here who's in either of those, please go to the, what is that hall called again after this?
Where we have the academy.
There you go.
The training room.
Go over there. We have some announcements to make for both of that. Yes, Lisp?
Yes, so I'm not sure if anybody has been partaking in the illegal street racing. We've seen an influx of it ever since somebody cut the drug sales. With that being said, they are getting very aggressive when you begin to spike them. Hank Castle and I were held up while I was getting my eyelash extensions done the other night and robbed for our spikes, and we were told that this was a warning. So please be conscious that that might happen if you guys end up chasing these drivers. But also know that we did get their license plate and have identified that it's Monkey Man's Cruise. So we do have a report open. So if it does happen to anybody else, please go ahead and add to that, as we will be conducting a raid at some point when they have these spikes on them. Ours, luckily, were pretty old, so I'm sure that they are gone by now, but we would like to actively pursue the racers doing this.
To add on to that, I had a conversation with Monkey Man right before the robberies happened. They were very angry that we were spike stripping. However, I calmed them down and explained that we're just doing our fucking job and he's going to have to get used to it. But he did confirm and tell me that they won't be escalating it in the fact that cops will be shot. All right? So they're clearly trying to take steps to do other things, and that's now robbing us instead.
This isn't the first time Monkey Man and his crew have tried to enact a SOP change on procedures that we have. It happened a couple of years ago when we were hot dropping when they would go to repair their vehicles. They will act on that. So just be.
Well, they joined. We were chasing someone, and he joined a race, and then all the racers said that they were gonna just shoot us if we spiked them. So it's
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Listen,
it's long. Wait, yeah, but I'm saying is, you guys, if you're spiking a race, you can't just spike a race to spike it. You need to have a reason to be. If you're spiking someone that's in the race and someone else drives over it, that's one thing. If you're just spiking the entire race just to spike the entire race, yeah, I mean, they're probably going to freak out. I don't really
We
blame them.
definitely have an HVT that we're going after. It's not to spike everybody. We
I
do
want to have a
pursue one
conversation
car in
about
the
that for
race.
being SRU,
But yeah, they just said, warning to everybody, they will continue to rob them from us if we continue to get involved in their races and spike them.
Do you know who it was that robbed
General
you?
rule of thumb was that we don't spike during the races.
No, this would be
that was what it
after
was
the
for a
third
while.
lap.
Yeah, we did it during their third lap.
Yeah, no.
No,
you
it
can.
should-
Listen. If you have an HVT that you're trying to spike, you can spike them. There's no. We don't have to wait for them to finish committing a crime before we can spike them. That doesn't make any sense.
All right.
But what
No,
I'm saying is, don't sit at the start line and just blanketly spike
Right.
everyone without the
Yeah.
intention of arresting anybody.
Gibson, you're not wrong. At the beginning, that was how we were doing it before with the I'm forgetting the other commissioner's name. What's his last name? Anyways, yes, that's how we were doing it before, but it is going to be changing now.
All right, I'm down with it. I just,
Me as well.
make sure we're fitting in with it.
Yep.
Yeah,
This
I
is
just
news to
wanted
me
to
as
let
well.
Sorry, just wanted to let everybody know there is a report out there. It's like Monkey Man's race crew or something. So if you get any additional information, feel free to add to that report, as we are going to be watching it and would like to move in at some point when they have gear on them.
Yeah, I
believe
think
Tinker was working on something for the races and documenting them and investigating them because he's running SRU, so he's going to be specializing in street racers.
cool. Okay. SRU, I want you guys to come to the CID stuff as well, because I think you guys will benefit from this. Yes, go ahead.
So with the new changes, as far as I was aware, was what Gibson said, right? So
Yep, same.
what are the new changes now with the spike zips for racing?
It's not
right?
changes. There's no SOPs on when you can and can't spike a race.
We
Right, so
beforehand we would
kind of use
let
common
the
sense in that case, right?
yeah beforehand, Knox. We would let the race finish, and once they break off of the track, that's whenever we would spike. If we're changing that, then I'm fantastic. I think we all agree. We just need to understand. So as long as you have an HVT in that chase, in that race, you can still spike them. Is that what you're saying, Knox?
Yeah, if you're pursuing someone so if you're pursuing someone that's in the race, say whoever's in last place, and you say he's coming around, like south onto Vespucci, someone can spike south, like on Vespucci. It's the same thing as spiking anybody.
All
It's
right.
basically saying pick a driver in the race, and that is who you're going after. That's what
Yeah.
we do every time.
Same
Yeah.
thing. You have to
Okay, so
guard
that's
your
normal.
spikes. You
Alright.
can't just leave them there. Like,
Yeah.
So essentially, yesterday we had an HVT we was chasing, and he joined a race mid chase. So that was our HVT. So just from what I'm gathering,
Yeah.
at any point in time during that race, we could spike that
Hey,
HVT.
Hold up. If he joined
Right?
a race while he was mid chase, you need to do other paperwork. We can stop that right there.
Well, it wasn't my personal one, but I just heard it over radio.
I'm just saying that's what you need to do.
Gotcha.
no, that's what started the whole thing. That's what he did, and then the other racers were saying they were gonna shoot us if we did anything to that guy. So yeah, it's the same thing as spiking anybody. Like, but because by the end of the race, they'll be separated enough to where you probably
That
won't
is not
spike a
extra
huge group of them.
paperwork. I don't know what he
But if you
means
start
by that.
spiking them when you know you're gonna spike a bunch of other people, they're gonna get mad. Just be smart about it. But there's nothing saying that you
That
can't
is not
spike
extra
someone that's in a race.
paperwork.
Yeah, I think it's kind of ridiculous that we sit there and let them finish their illegal activity and then try to.
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
Yeah, we need to get involved.
right.
Use your brain, right? Don't do it on their first fucking lap. You don't want to piss them off to that degree, but don't let them finish.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have a clue that we're behind them. So I mean, they can start on, like, hey, oh wow, they're all chasing me specifically. Maybe I should look out for shit like that. So I mean, they can't really complain.
Listen, I'll say this, and we'll end the conversation here. I think that a lot of criminals in this city, in every walk of life, from gang members to street racers to business gangsters, whatever the fuck you want to call those pussies, everyone thinks that they know how to do our job better than us. At the end of the day, fuck them. Straight up, fuck them. Fuck Chang Gang, fuck the street racers, fuck Eastside Baptist Church, fuck the Vagos, fuck all of them. Fuck every single one of them. You guys have been trained. You guys know how to do your fucking jobs. You know your SOPs. Do your fucking job. And whoever says anything, any bullshit to you, fuck them. Because at the end of the day, if they want to start shooting us for no fucking reason, we got 30 of us, motherfucker. We'll see you. We'll see you on the streets. I'm tired of it.
Amen.
I'm tired. Amen. I know you guys are as well. We're not walking on eggshells anymore. If it gets bad, commissioner's office will have a conversation and we'll address it. But until then, fuck everybody and fuck their opinions. Do your job. Do it to the best of the ability. CID, GIU, meet you in the meeting room. You guys are dismissed. Have a wonderful day.
That's my command. If anybody has any investigations on street,
Amen.
Please bring it to me.
Yes, are you?
We're going over.
Do the same thing.
All right. All right, cool. You want to get those pictures up on the board, Tarts, of both the uniforms that you sent me in text?
Yeah, can do. All right, I'm gonna be in my head.
I know,
Don't you get Creed stuck in my head, Antoine? I swear to God.
Stupid. Oh my god.
What? Antoine, I don't know, bro. Isn't that's not a hot jam?
In my head.
Wait, Antoine, are we doing Andy and
LaQuavius? But of course, but not right now because I got nightmares, nightmaring. You know what I mean?
Oh, I feel that.
Oh, back to what I was saying. I'm gonna be in my head.
Let's see here.
Permission
I'm
to
gonna
shoot
be
him.
also in
Granted.
my head.
Don't say that. Don't
Wait,
say
actually?
that.
It's Antoine.
Me,
It's gonna
motherfucker,
hurt.
not you.
Oh, fuck.
God, I hate this board some days. Jeez, you gonna make me move, huh? All right. No, you're good. So bye, Romano. I'll lean on this chair.
How you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm pretty good.
Freezing
Pretty
my
good,
ass
yeah.
off, you know?
Oh yeah, it's cold.
Oh yeah.
Fuck winter. On God.
I hate it.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I like the cold much more than the heat. Yeah, 100%.
All right.
Okay, is everybody here? Antoine, you back?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh,
He's no longer in his head.
I'm out of my head.
Okay. Let's get through this so you guys can go about your guys' day. So we're gonna be doing some changes here, okay? And this is mainly for CID and GIU. So we've been looking for, especially for GIU, we've been trying to establish how exactly we're going to utilize GIU. At the beginning, we were more worried about the ambassadors and making gangs happy and so on and so forth. To be 100% honest with you, fuck everybody, including all those gangs. I'm at that point where, just like I said in the meeting, I think a lot of these groups and these gang affiliates and so on and so forth are getting very comfortable with telling us how to do what we should be able to do. And I've gotten to the point now where I don't give a shit what any of their opinions are. So what we're going to do now is GIU is going to officially operate under CID. The reason why is because CID, the entity of CID, is established for obviously investigations. But a lot of people in CID, or some of them, are more paperwork driven and more like large scale things, right? Big drug investigations, big investigations on even just businesses. Whenever business, we can actually start doing that, they're going to be working on a lot of things. So our plan is, and what we would like is GIU to operate under CID and be the field soldiers for the CID. So GIU will be its own entity. Okay, I'm not saying that it's you guys are just getting absorbed in your CID now. GIU is still a thing. Okay, the only thing that's really changing is that instead of coming to me and double checking with me about stuff, you're going to be able to double check with Tarts, and he's just going to help you guys with the paperwork side of things. Okay, as well as we're going to put Ramona as the head of GIU. And Carnitas, you're not losing GIU whatsoever. The only reason that we're doing this is because, number one, Ramona is a lieutenant. She can make choices without having to clear it through me. So instead of waiting for me to be around, you now have myself, you now have Tarts, and you have Ramona, as well as she has ran GIU before. She understands the paperwork and the bullshit that needs to be handled in order to make it successful. And I believe that she will be able to enable you guys and to continue to do your thing. I also believe that she will not stop or try and change anything that you're doing now in a negative way. I think this is only beneficial to everybody. And again, nothing's going to change from what you guys are doing. It's just you are now going to have someone to help you do it and to clear you whenever I'm not around. So this can be an efficient division and not just, I don't want to say it's not efficient now, but just more efficient. That's all. Just making it more efficient.
Yes, sir.
So we have a couple examples to look at here. Go ahead and go on duty. Open up your MDT and go to report number 8377. Now, this isn't going to be the format, but it's going to be something like this. I'm going to kind of leave it up to you guys, GIU and CID, to figure out how you want to do it. But I want you guys to be doing this so I can somewhat keep track. So if you look at the report, you can see where it says TJ Mack, the date, the time, and what he did. Okay. This will enable us to be able to keep track of what you guys are doing daily. So my idea is every week, or every day, depending on how you guys would like to do it, there's going to be groups, Ballas, A-Town, fucking different stuff, or different gangs. You guys will put your name, whichever gang that you are going to be, focusing on, and then you will execute whatever you're doing, okay? So if it's on the 22nd, the 23rd, whatever, at whatever time, all I want here is just a little note about what you did and how it went. It could be a fucking sentence long. Went to Balla's territory, didn't see shit, and then you're done. It's just so I can go back and I can look at this and see, okay, Carnitas went out and did GIU shit on Tuesday, didn't turn back anything, but I know he did it. You know what I mean? So I don't have to ask you guys, hey, what's GIU doing? Hey, what's, so on and so forth. It will also help with Tarts and with Ramana being able to see what gangs need to be looked at and what gangs are not getting the light that they deserve, right? So if we have Chang gang, there's only one person working on them, and we have 3 warrants out for them, maybe we put 2 or 3 guys on there. So that's the reason why it'll help us with the paperwork trail. It will add a little bit more bullshit to what you guys are already doing, but it will help us out incredibly. So however you guys want to situate that, do it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. As well, at the bottom, just an idea where it says witnesses, victims, suspects. You guys could also put statements in there. Just ideas thrown out there for you. So,
is there a way for us to add a report to our MDT home screen? I think that'd be dope.
We're trying to get, we're talking about at the very beginning, at the home screen.
Open it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the personnel updates removed from that and maybe add that separate window to where maybe you can like pin a report or exactly something like this. Let me talk with them and we can see what we can do with that. But I do like that idea. So that's that, especially with CID and GIU. Now, listen, we can try and enable you guys as much as possible. But at the end of the day, you guys just, you know, have to just do it. You got to want to do it, right? We need your guys' creative juices flowing. And I can promise you, I speak on behalf of myself, Pike, Tarts, and Romana, as long as it makes sense, we're probably going to let you do it. As long as it's within the SOPs and it makes sense, we're going to let you do it. But the biggest thing here is cops on duty. You go ahead and take a look. Obviously, not everyone in here is on duty. Right now, we have 31 fucking cops on duty. This is the perfect example of there is so many motherfuckers around. Why are you out on the streets? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have so many people in this PD now that can go out and patrol and do their thing. This is the perfect moment for you to walk up to someone like your lieutenants and say, hey, I've got an investigation on K-Town. Give them the rundown of what exactly you're wanting to achieve and what your mission is. And they say, okay. And you can go and either go in plain clothes or go in, you know, whatever they clear you for. But this is a prime example at this exact time on when you guys should be wanting to go out and do GIU shit or when you want to go and do CID shit. I want more raids. I want more meat to the bone of PD. And right now we are ping chasers with some CID shit that the lieutenants are doing, and that's pretty much it. I know you guys have been doing GIU shit as well. That's why we're having this conversation. But again, I don't have any paperwork, so I can't see it. Any questions for me right now? Any concerns? Just be very honest, be very blunt. I will not get upset. Yes, go ahead, Lisp.
Sir, when we're talking about, you know, just standard clothing, going out and things, I see this board here. Within reason, right? Always to have a badge on and we can still have our equipment. Is that correct?
Yes. So whenever you're going you will never be going off duty for these, right? You'll still be on duty. So you can still have your badge and, or your gun and all of your equipment, so on and so forth. Okay. When it comes to the undercover standards, you do not need to be showing a badge, right? You should always have either a police vest in your pockets or some type of, you know, badge, that necklace or whatever that you can put on. So if you need to say police, you have that. But you do not need to be showing it at all times. The exact reason you're going undercover is so that people don't know you're a police officer. So
exactly. Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now there's two forms, right? It brings me to another thing. This is mainly for CID. So we have a lot of people that are going to be patrolling and so on and so forth. This is an idea. Please tell me if you guys like it or not. But I would like for people, especially our detectives, to be able to wear clothes like you guys see at the top left and be able to go on scenes, especially for OISs, drug trafficking, stuff that might actually be a little bit more investigations. So you guys aren't always having to run around in your police outfits. Now, if you are or want to do something like that, you have to prioritize larger scenes. And we want you guys there to establish as evidence and do that kind of stuff. Take pictures, getting casings, getting DNA. If that is something you guys would actually be interested in, I can float it by DC and see if we can get that passed through. But I think it'd be pretty fucking cool if you're sitting there in an OIS situation and you see detectives walking in suits breaking down a scene. Is that something you guys...
Cool. Yeah, I think that would be sick.
Yeah, that's really so cool.
With that being said, sir,
yes,
how will that affect the numbers on a scene? Would this be something where the detective work, you know, happens after the chase takes off, or would that be a part of the scene numbers and then we lose a couple bodies on the chase?
No, so that wouldn't be part of the scene. So the only time a detective would really roll in is just like if you see in the movies. Scenes code 4, everyone's breaking down what is going on. You know, it's just like whenever you're getting casings or getting DNA pictures, you're never doing that unless it's code 4, right? So numbers doesn't really matter because again, the scene is no longer active. So it would be Like, let's say Uwu Cafe, there's a shootout, 4 criminals go down, a couple officers go down. Instead of having 2 officers there standing up, dealing with 95s, dealing with triage, dealing with security, blah, 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 and then having to get DNA, we just have Detective Carter come in and, whoever he's with, and they can break down that scene.
Now, are we going to make sure that the uniformed officers on the scene aren't going to just solely leave evidence collection and things like that up to the guys in GIU and CID? Because people tend to think that means that they're not going to have to do any of the paperwork. They're not going to have to do the
Well, I think the biggest
work, things like that on the scenes too. And it's unfair to just have it left up to them completely.
Well, that's solely your choice, right? You're choosing as a detective to roll onto that scene and to take it over. You're still going to be able to delegate and to ask officers to do this, that, or the other. But once that scene is yours, it's on you to make sure that you're not left there with the bullshit. But at the same time, that's what you're there for, right? Is to do that said bullshit. That makes sense?
Quick interjection. Would it be right then to, like, as a detective, when you roll on and say, hey, everybody that's involved, I need all your evidence or whatever, like, to give to me versus somebody leaving with, DNA samples and shit like that?
So the biggest thing here is to not cause more, is to not throw more problems into an already problematic system, right? Because we have multiple officers taking multiple 95s, people, like, there's already a lot of moving parts. So I don't want officers rolling on scene or detectives rolling on scene and being like, hey, hand me all this stuff, because then it's confusing, some stuff isn't handed, whatever. All of that, basically, if people have already collected things, they'll just throw it in the evidence whenever they get to MRPD, and it will be on you to go over everything.
Ah, okay.
So it's all just, it doesn't complex anything, that's already happening. Liz, did you have some?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, I think if we proceed with our everyday, collect the evidence, take your photos, create a report, then the investigator that's on that can reach out to one of the officers involved and get the report number and maybe link that to their own or just add to it.
Exactly. The biggest thing is again, like we talked about, meat on the bone. I think that it could be really cool to be on a scene and seeing a motherfucker in a suit and tie with a badge on his hip or her hip get into a scene and start breaking that motherfucker down while you're sitting there bleeding out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was a criminal, I'd see that and be like, fuck, detectives are here. This ain't good.
That's cool.
Right? So I think there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be like, this, that, or the other. Just do it. Have good taste. Do it in good faith. Be there to help, not to control and to command. Exactly. We are supporting, especially GIU. You guys are going to be the backbone of when it comes to gang shit. And your biggest thing is to help and facilitate whatever CID needs. It's always been that way, even whenever you guys were doing your own separate thing. But the main reason we have GIU is to help us with information, tactical awareness, and or scene controls with gangs. So as long as all of us in both divisions operate on supporting each other and supporting your officers in the field, I don't think that anything can go bad with this.
Well, there's a big thing is what I see CID being great with is if you feel like there's some questions to be answered that you may not have the answer to, like if it turns in terms of investigations or interrogations, I should say, like if you feel like two groups of people just shot each other on the street and you're like, why the fuck are they killing each other in, Rockford Plaza, whatever it is, right? Like, why are they over there killing each other? If it's raising some questions or there's some evidence that leads to another report, things where you're like, all right, what's going on here? CID is great for, if you guys are good at interrogations, I think that'd be, a great way to kind of link each other up.
Yeah, I mean, or hell, it's saying, hey, Tarts, we just had a gang fight between, let's say, the Ballas and Havoc. You mind if I go and I'm going to go have a conversation with them? And I guarantee Tarts will say, okay, wonderful. You go down there dressed in a fucking suit and tie with a notepad like an actual true detective and go and ask them some questions. You got to understand, people have seen us in these uniforms so often. The power of just going in plain clothes, you're going to demand different results out of people. Does that make sense? They're not going to be used to it. It's going to throw them off and they might tell you a little bit more, or maybe they won't, right? So again, I think it adds a really cool element to our department. It allows you guys to do things again that isn't just chasing pings and you know, doing all that. Now, in the SOPs, you can only do the CID shit for an hour, and the GIU stuff for an hour, and then you know, have to call it. Now, I talked to DC, and I'm happy to tell you guys that it is cleared through him, and I'm clearing it as well, that Tarts and Pike, if you're still involved with the CID stuff, but Romana, you guys can clear people as long as you would like to, as long as we have more than 25 officers on duty. So if you guys are in an investigation, you're fucking an hour deep, 2 hours deep, and you think that it's going to go somewhere and you want to extend your time, call your lieutenants, and they are authorized to clear you guys for going longer. Or let's just say we have 35 cops on and you don't want to go and chase pings, and seems like everybody is good. You guys are good to call and to get that extension. But you do have to get extended by your lieutenants. Okay?
And please make sure that when you do that, that there is some sort of paperwork we can look at and reference.
Yep.
You
Again,
to be able to see why.
But this is only for when you're in plain clothes, or it's just like if you're in the office doing paperwork type of stuff?
This is for anything GIU CID related. If you are off tack, you're not prioritizing calls, you are going and investigating an area, you're in here doing paperwork for GIU, CID, anything that is related to not going and doing your regular day-to-day job acquires or goes into that hour of time. But again, as long as we have fucking 25 or more cops, I don't care if you guys spend your entire day doing CID shit. Because we all know it sucks being on the radio, hearing a call go off, and instantly hearing 6 other cops say 76, 76, 76, 76. We all hate that, right? That's why we are starting to do this, and we're enabling you guys to do more shit, right? Exactly. Great problem, bigger solution.
Yeah.
One issue I see you guys running into, you know, while wearing a suit and a badge on your belt and is all pretty cool and stuff, I'd say wear that when you got shit going on, not just for the cool factor to walk around Mission Row in a suit.
Yeah, please don't get it taken away from us, or I'll kill all of you.
Which brings me to the next thing. Guys, I can try and enable you guys as much as possible, but I promise you this, if DC or the commissioner comes and emails me or messages me because someone decided to wear cat ears with their fucking suit or some shit like that, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, okay? Be professional. Be professional. You guys are examples for the PD. You always have been, but even more now. So when you guys are doing stuff like this, take it serious, do your work, and fuck around on your own time. Alrighty? Any more questions for me? Wonderful. If anything else, you know, y'all need anything, again, lean on your lieutenants. Lieutenants, if you need anything from me, let me know. Alright? Good luck.
Yeah, by the way, I did. Oh.
Yeah?
I'm sorry. Yeah, this motherfucker. In our CID SOPs, we do not use CIs, or criminal informants.
Correct.
Correct. Why is that? The large part
I cannot tell you here why. Email me and I can tell you. It's a very simple thing.
I'll tell you. It's because we can't trust motherfuckers in this city to not, you know, do the big M all the fucking time and tell us. I'll tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. I'll tell you a story. I ran GIU, or I helped Romana run GIU in the last city, right? The 4th day we had GIU, I got a text. In that text, it was from somebody who's been in the city for about 3 days. And he sent me every single Chang gang member and affiliate and every single thing that person or that gang has ever done or committed in a text that was about 90 paragraphs long.
There was documents that would get shared on how to do every criminal thing you possibly think of.
Exactly. So the problem
I have a document for PDM.
Is instead of having to pick and figure out what people are actually experiencing and what they saw someone else experience, we just eliminate that completely, and we depend on ourselves because we're the only people that we can trust. That's why it is. It sucks, but it's just how we have to do it.
There's a difference.
On top of all that, sorry, Carter, hold on. On top of all of that, I am specifically asked to verify and vet every fucking thing we do.
Yep.
Make sure that we aren't hitting that big M ever.
Gotcha.
There's a difference though between a CI and, you know, just asking somebody questions, you know what I mean? Like trying to get information out of people.
100%.
You can still do that.
Yeah, we're not trying to tell you not to talk to people at all and only to depend on yourself. You can talk to people. You just can't have that one guy on a burner phone that wears a mask every time you see him, feeding you information that you don't really know where it comes from. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
If one gang
Vetting
wants
the
to
source
rat
is
on
important.
another gang, that's one thing. One
So
dude
I have a female that I could hit with some pretty good, drug charges and stuff like that. I've decided, with my discretion to not if she hooks me up with her dealer. Is that kind of thing okay?
I would say yeah.
That's not using a CI. That's fine.
Yeah, that's yeah. You're not using a CI. You're just negotiating terms to get information. I feel like that's exactly what we should do.
Okay.
100%. A CI would be like a guy in the racing scene, right? Or some random guy who's not even hardly a racer comes up to you and goes, I want to tell you about every single thing that the racing scene is possibly doing, the cars that each person is driving. If it gets to a point where the details are a little too good, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Then
Well,
it's
and my thing is like I turn these small buy bust flips into bigger things down the line. Like
I love that. Absolutely, that's what we do.
So that's what I define as a CI. Is somebody who I can lean on in times of like
you have to be able to put their name in a report. You cannot just put CI or confidential or redacted or anything like that. You have to be able to put their name in there.
I can absolutely do that. Okay.
That's not using a CI. That's just like the commander said. That's just negotiating terms.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's just phrasing, right? Your phrasing of CI is a lot different than ours.
Okay, good.
So everything you've mentioned so far, you're good.
And on those reports, just contact me, Pike, or Romano, and we'll seal it.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you're ever unsure on what you can or cannot do, feel free to ask.
Absolutely, thank you.
I'll
I
ask
do have one I
afterwards.
need sealed.
But yeah, again, guys, our biggest thing here is just enabling you guys. So that's listen, I don't want there to ever be a moment where you're on duty and you're going, man, fuck, there's nothing to do. I want you guys to feel like, you've been putting in the work. Everyone here has been putting in fucking hours on hours for weeks and weeks. I want you guys to feel like you can truly do what you need to do in order to enjoy your time here. So lean on your lieutenants. If you need anything from me, phone call away. And yeah, fucking kill it. When it comes to all of the detective undercover standards, detective plainclothes standards, again, all that's going through Pike, Romana, and Tarts. So all those questions can be referred to them. Anything else, you can just bring it to myself or Captain Mac. Alrighty? All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a great shift. What'd you say? DC what?
I asked